So it's going to come to the back on it like this. In today's video tutorial, we're going to be making something that is similar to this, but in this case it's going to be quite different because the flap is going to be made up of a woven mat. If you want to learn how to make this woven mat as a flap for your bags, make sure you watch this particular video from the beginning to the end. So you're going to need your interfacing or your bag stapler. In this case, I'm using a synthetic leather. You're going to need lining. In this case, I'm using suede material. That's what I'm going to be lining this particular bag with for the interior parts of the bag. You're going to need chain for the handle. You're going to need 4 bottom studs, eyelets where you're going to put your chain. You're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 hole punch to punch your hole, your magnetic snaps or lighter to bond the thread. The main body is going to measure 10 inches in width by 7 inches in height. So the base of the bag is going to be 4 inches by 10 inches.
The side is going to be
7.5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, so here is 5 inches and here to here is 7.5 inches. And to get these notches cut out, I'm going to be cutting out half by half inches. This half inch. Okay, so do the same thing here. And you are going to cut out. Measure from here to here. You're going to find out that the width now is now 4 inches, which is equivalent to the width of the bottom part. I've explained as you can get your bottom, the main panel, the side panel. Now we're going to be talking about the flap of the bag. For the flap of the bag, these two going to turn out like this. How did I get the flap of the bag? Let me explain. I'm going to be using the main body pattern for the flap measurement. It takes 2 inches, measured from this point to this point. I measured out 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect this 2 inches mark here that I've made here to this tip here. I'm going to connect it. I'm not doing anything to this other side of the flap. So I'm just going to connect them. Then we'll cut this out. You're going to get something like this in back, the way it's slighted at this. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to be slighting it. I'll mark at ½ inch. So if my voice is not loud enough, sorry, I'm filming at night. Here to here is ½ inch. So I'll mark another ½ inch out because I'm going to be connecting them. Okay, I measured here to here to be half, here to here to be half. So I connected them. So I'm just going to cut. So you're going to get. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Then I'll connect them. Alright, then I'm going to cut in a slighted way. Cut like this. In order to get this frame here, in this case I'm going to be measuring out 1 inch. Width from here to here is 1 inch. Okay, so connect them. So make sure you connect these lines together. I'm going to just bend or fold my template like this. I'll cut a mark on it because I want to get this frame out of it. So you just bend it into the put a cut on it like this at the middle. Take note that what we are trying to get is if these frames here. Okay, so I'm just going to be cutting. Make sure I cut on that line. Once you've cut it out, you're trying to fit it in, it won't fit in again. It'll be smaller than it. So the only thing you can do is to use this to measure another one out of this, then you increase it by ½ inch. I'm just going to increase it by ½ inch all around so it can fit into our frame. I'm going to connect these marks with my ruler now. Okay, and so we are going to be cutting out this part now. If you try it out now, you can see that it fits in, okay? Unlike this that did not fit, it was too small for it. That's why we increase it all around by ½ inch. Curve these edges out so that by the time we are sewing, it does not interfere with our manchen. We just cut out the edges, okay? The last part is going to be the external pocket of the bag, which is going to be coming like this. I'm going to measure at 7 by ½ inches. Other part of it was 5 inches. So the same measurement I used for the side of the bag is what I'm going to use for the pocket. So what you're going to do, you're going to curve out the edges. You can use any cork cover to curve it out, or you can simply just do something like this. It to be curved. Alright, see what I've done. So if you cannot do something like, just look for a cork, something like a bottle cover, and use it to curve it out. So once you drew it out like this, you're going to fold it into two, cut on that curve part. Alright, okay, so this part is kind of pointed. I'll just trim, like curve it out a bit. Alright, if there's any part that is kind of pointed, you can just curve it out a bit in a way you want it to be. Going to be the external pocket. So I've already ironed them out. Alright, so I just cut different fabric. For each strap I cut out, the length is 11.5 inches and the width is 2.5 inches. After you've cut out the strap, you're going to fold it by ½ inch on one edge. You fold it on the other edge by ½ inch. So the remaining part that is not going to be folded is just going to be 1.5 inches approximately. So approximately you're going to have 1.5 inches. You're going to take them and arrange them. So if you notice, you're going to find out that the straps that I've cut out, they are bigger than the measurement of the interfacing. I just want it to be excess, better than when it's smaller. You can always trim off the excess, arrange them in the way you want them to be aligned. Make sure they are not overlapping, okay? So I'm going to sew to hold it together. Guys, I'm just stitch. Just want to trim it off. I'll start weaving it now. For the flap, remember we are just trying to get the flap done. So if you want to weave this, you are going to figure out the straps of Ankara you want to use. So if you are starting from the top, you are going to be alternating it. When you start from the top, so the next one is going to go under. Alright, and the next one is going to go above, the other one is going to go beneath it. After it has gone beneath it, the next weaving is going to go above and the next one is going to go beneath it. You just alternate it in that manner. Starting from the top now, I would first of all place it at the top, then it goes beneath it, like below it, like this. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Alright, so as you are weaving it, make sure you are arranging them in place. So after it has gone beneath it, you can see it's beneath it, it's below it. The next is going to be above, then you pull it, it goes beneath it, then above, then under it, which is like below it. Okay, so we try and arrange them in place. Then you can move it up, guys. So you can take your clips and just hold them in place so that it does not move by the time you are doing the other ones. Clip it. Okay, so when you are clipping, make sure you use clips that are very strong. These are not strong enough. I'm going to use this color of Ankara print as my next strap. Since this one, the first one started from the top, the next one is going to start, going to go below it. I'll pull it to this place. Next waving is going to go above, below, okay, above, below, then above. So you arrange them in place. Make sure everything is well arranged to get a beautiful work. So just take your time, you don't rush when doing this kind of thing. All right, okay, I'm going to use this as my next fabric. This is going to go above now. It goes above, then after above, below. I'll just pull it to this. All right, so it's this one is below, so the next one is going to be above, then the next one is going to be below. You just alternate it in that manner. This one is above, then the last one is going to be under it, which is beneath it. So this one we've gotten. I'm going to use clips. Those clips are not going to hold them that well. I would advise you to use pins. I'll just apply my gum on the stabilizer. In this case, I'm using leather as the back stiff now. I'll use my brush to spread it out, spread the gum, and I'll allow it to dry just the normal way we apply our gum. I've ironed it in place, so I'm just going to be trimming this excess off. So I'm going to measure out and cut now. Cut around the stitches that I've stitched. This is what you're going to have. Okay guys, it's very secured now. Okay, going to be stabilizing this with these pieces. I'll use this brush to spread it out. So I'll just wait for it to dry. And once it has dried, I'll just lay it on top of it like this. You see that this part of it is going to be getting on the way, you can trim it off. I'm using this fabric for the frame of the bag as well for the two main panel. The frame of the bag first. Apply gum. So I have the templates, the pattern, everything that has to do with the measurement of this bag. In the first, just make sure you watch this video from the beginning to the end so that you can understand practically everything that I've done here. I've explained everything in details, so make sure you watch everything. Do not skip any parts, because by the time you skip, you are going to miss some parts out. Using my brush to spread out the gum. I'm going to lay this fabric down so the wrong side is facing up. I'm just going to cut, leaving excess inch, like half inch, or you can leave 1 inch all around it. Remember, we are going to be folding in from the inside as well as from the outside. From the outside, I'm going to leave half inch. I will eyeball it. It's not like I'm measuring it out, but if you cannot do that, you can always measure. There's a slight here at the back of the bag, so if you watch it from the beginning, you see the way I drafted out the slight. So I'm just going to, when cutting on the slight, make sure you follow the shape. I'm going to be cutting a notch, like a slight cut, okay, to the edge, so that it will be easy for us to fold in like this. Okay, so on the corner, the four corner, 1 2 3 4, I'm just going to do the same thing. All right, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to apply gum on the edge for the inside wrapping or folding, and also applied on this edge for this fold in on there. So fold the inside first, so apply the gum and using my finger to just press it inside so it will be tightly folded, if that's the right word. So I can see from here that it's not well done because the knot did not get to the edge. So I'll just quickly check the outside now. So these corners, I'm going to be applying gum there. They are not sticking, as you can see. So some parts are not sticking well. Just add gum on it. Come like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I will sew the inside, just the inside. Okay, we are not sewing the outside yet. So you can use a double-sided tape instead of gum so you don't get your work stained. And I'm just going to sew around it now. I'm using a red thread, size 3. It's quite thick because it's sewing like 2-3 layers of fabric all together. Before you interface, you can sew this to this before interfacing with this, so it won't be too hard for it to sew through. Now turn. I will advise you not to backstitch. You can backstitch if you want, but to get neater work, you can just pass your needle to the back, down the flap. Okay, I've wrapped one of the main panel, one of the side panel. I'm just going to do the rest now. We still have the bottom panel left, the main panel, the pocket that is going to be at the back of the main panel, then the other side of the bag. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply gum on the edges. Remember, we're going to be folding in towards these edges. So I'm wrapping the side panel now. So this is the wrong side of the Ankara print or the Africa was print. So I'm just going to lay it on this. That's dry. Then I'll turn. So I'm going to be removing. I'll kind of smoothing it out in order to make it smooth. And to make this wrinkles not to be here. Okay, so I'm going to turn. I'll leave excess Ankara print. Take note, I'm going to be using one layer of interfacing or back stiffener for the side part of the bag, so that by the time we are sewing, it will be very easy for us to sew. I'm going to apply gum all around, then we are going to be wrapping this towards the wrong side of the interfacing like this. The external pocket for the bag. So I'll let it dry for some time. Then I'm going to lay it on the fabric. I'm going to trim around it, leaving ½ inch excess fabric, and make sure you follow the shape of it. So this curving part, it should be curving in this manner, and ensure you're leaving excess fabric. As I've applied gum, I'll just let it dry. These corners that are curving, you can cut notches on the fabric so it can fold easily. Guys, what I mean is you can do something like you just cut notches so it can fold easily. Okay, you don't have to do that if you already know how to fold. It's going to come to the back on it like this. So we are able to make the two main panels. We've done the pockets that will come like this. We've done the side parts of the bag, 2 of them. Okay, we've done the bottom and we've done the flap bag. So guys, in the part 2 of this video, we are going to be putting all of this together to get a beautiful bag. Okay, so watch out for the part 2. This is just the part 1. So make sure you watch this part from the beginning to the end in order not to miss anything. Okay, it's a very detailed class. So make sure you watch everything, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to share my videos to other people that are passionate about bag making. Alright, compliment of the season to you guys. Have a nice time. Bye.